Have you ever heard of Lanny Poffo?
Oh, wasn't he the genius?
Of WWF.
Yeah.
He actually wrote a poem and sent it to us on email, but he has back problems. Watch this.
It turns out that flaccid, I am average, and erect, I am above average, and I'm being modest, insanely above average. Okay? And I'm also very flexible. So you put the two together, and the twain will meet.
Press play! Where's the magic finger? Pressing down! Yeah!
The Wrestling Club with Darren and Brett. We've got a show that you'll never forget.
Greetings, Grapple fans, and welcome to WFMU's Wrestling Club, the only space that's safe for all wrestling fans, whether you're casual, lapsed, obsessed, or ashamed. I'm Darren Maybe, broadcasting live and fully vaxxed from Jersey City, New Jersey, where tonight we have a lights out, unsanctioned episode of Wrestling Club prepared for you. Joining us later in the show is Bobb Bruno from the band Best Coast. You can join Wrestling Club tonight by calling us on the hotline at 732-200-CLUB. That's 732-200-2582. But before we get started, let me introduce you to my tag team partner, coming to us live via satellite from Hollywood, California, the skip to my zip, Mr. Brett Davis. Brett, let's get going. We got to get going.
Oh, how you feeling? I know you're.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
you're getting the
chip is in me. You know, I bought $10,000 worth of Bitcoin last night. Doing pretty good there. You know, so I'm getting my gains any way I can. But I'm doing good. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to get through. You know, WFMU marathons in full effect. So I've been at the station 7 days a week, 24 hours a day practically. You can pledge at wfmu.org/pledge. We're almost done with the marathon. The finale is Sunday. I believe we're about 70% to our 70% of the way to our goal. You can get this cool t-shirt. There you go. If you can see it on the YouTube, $50 will get you that. $75 will get you my DJ Premium, which is a compilation of Japanese death rock with a cover featuring Bull Nakano and Dump Matsumoto, designed by yours truly, my co-host, Brett Davis. So WFMU.
Yeah, you can't say yours truly and then that's not what yours truly
I don't know.
means.
You know what? I got a low grade fever. I'm trying to get through this the best I can.
That's fair. I'll cut you some slack. You've been up all night at this marathon.
That's right. You know, I'm doing my best. So WFMU.org/pledge is the place to pledge. If you like Wrestling Club, if you like WFMU, if you like cool stuff, if you like weird stuff, if you like independent, 100% non-corporate, listener-supported radio, think about giving us a donation at WFMU.org/pledge. And that's my spiel.
Support independent freeform radio with the WFMU Marathon and receive WFMU swag and prizes, including Darren's exclusive Marathon Premium. Find out more at WFMU.org. Be there!
But, you know, they need help this year. You know, obviously the pandemic has decimated a lot of listener-supported community radio and media outlets. But WFMU has stayed on the air. We have all our DJs are broadcasting remotely. We've had to spend thousands of dollars on equipment and thousands of dollars on hiring people to work at the station to keep the lights on. So it's been a tough year financially for WFMU. So if you can help them out, WFMU.org/pledge is the place to do it.
And if you want to call in to Wrestling Club, what's our number?
732-200-CLUB.
You can also find us on Wrestling Club WFMU on Instagram. We're going to jump into some wrestling news.
Oh, you know, we should tell people, too, we're going to have a new YouTube channel. We're supposed to have it this week, but there was a bit of an issue with it. But it's going to be in next week, so keep an eye out for that. And
it's there. We got a bunch of new clips and stuff. We got old wrestling commercials. If you like those, we've compiled them. We've got a lot of clickbait.
Clickbait. It's pretty cool stuff. Yeah. So, but thanks to everybody joining us live on YouTube, and thanks to everybody joining us from the archive somewhere in time at WFMU.org or on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, all those great places.
So, big wrestling week.
Always.
We've got some. Yeah, I mean it's WrestleMania season. Are you hyped?
No. No, I'm not. How about you?
No. But,
I mean,
let's see if maybe our guest is hyped.
that's true. Maybe.
All right, let's welcome our guest. He's a multi-instrumentalist, best known for his work in Best Coast. He's also played on the 2020 Fiona Apple album. That's Mick Foley's favorite musician. And
That's right.
Is that the one?
Or Tori Amos. I think it's Tori Amos.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna guess he'd be into Fiona Apple though.
Uh-huh. And he also wore a New Japan shirt on Letterman, supposedly. This is what I hear. Let's welcome Bobb Bruno.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome to Wrestling Club. You're our newest inductee.
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Which New Japan shirt was this? Because I tried to find the clip.
I think it was probably the one I got when they used to do when they had the original LA dojo, when it was New Japan USA. So it was just the blue with the classic lion emblem on the front.
Did Dave say anything like wouldn't he would always say something like to the drummers or something?
No, I think he just shook my hand. That was about it.
Oh, okay. There was some
cold hand. He probably has a cold hand.
It is very cold on that set for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, I first discovered your wrestling fandom. I think I was reading like a Pitchfork article or something.
Yeah, no, I remember, Brett. We found it at this. I remember messaging you, being like, "Oh my God, Wrestling Observer was just mentioned on Pitchfork." This is like 2009 or 2010, and I felt a little less alone that day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were on top of the blogosphere, and we saw like what are you listening to? And I was talking to your bandmate Bethany, and she's like, "Oh, I like these albums," and then you're like, "I like Dave Meltzer," and we were like, one day we must meet this man.
Yeah,
I was stoked when they mentioned it on the Observer site in the daily news that I had mentioned them. Yeah, so that was a big deal for me.
That's huge.
Do you think Dave gave the album a spin?
Probably not.
Yeah, he only likes. It's good, not great, but good.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Maybe his kids would like it.
Oh yeah. We one of the things, this is almost like a greatest hits episode of the show, because we're going to talk about the things that we kind of talk about every week. One of them being Dave Meltzer's personal life. We love the little previews he gives us, before or after an episode. He's like, "Oh, my son, he got a job at an ice cream store." It's like, I want to hear more about that. But this is a big week. WWE is now on Peacock, and they're doing their first Peacock special. I'm trying to think of like the PPV, but it's WWE Fastlane. Bob, how close do you pay attention to WWE main roster?
Through Observer Radio only, pretty much.
Okay.
Same.
I usually watch Royal Rumble and maybe WrestleMania, and then some of the NXTs. More NXT shows than main roster for sure.
Okay. Now I will give you both a chance to guess what is on this card.
Oh no!
Because I looked it up and I was.
Oh, I know
surprised.
one. Randy Orton versus Alexa Bliss.
That's right.
Yep. That's
WWE
one.
has finally embraced intergender wrestling.
Ugh.
I hope it's a Candice LeRae style bloodbath.
Yeah, and not a Tommy Dreamer style spank fest.
Oh God. She's been making him vile lately.
Oh,
So
good.
he does have a handicap that might make up for the size differential. Bob, any guesses as to other matches on this card?
Wasn't there going to be a Shane McMahon match that maybe is getting bumped now to WrestleMania?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. You don't want to waste a Shane McMahon match.
No, not on this little rinky-dink show.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, are they finally doing Sheamus and McIntyre on this one?
They're finally doing it.
Didn't they do that on Raw? Raw came on the other night accidentally. I didn't turn it on. And it was like Sheamus was laying there. They were like, "No, Sheamus, no, don't go after him." And then Drew was laying there like, "Drew, don't do it." So they already had a match, but they're gonna do it again.
No, they'd have to do it again.
Okay.
He was just laying there.
It's a requirement to do something at least twice on TV before they can put it on the pay-per-view. It seems with a lot of the matches.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's best to just give a couple previews, right?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Especially when the pay-per-views now are in the exact same room, the Best Buy.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly...
Well, we also got Daniel Bryan, which should be fun. WrestleMania opponent Sasha and Bianca versus Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax.
How do you feel about that one, Brett?
I just saw the clip of Wendy Williams burping and farting at the same time, and I was like, she's kind of like Nia Jax is the Wendy Williams of wrestling a little bit. She gets in the hole. But just kind of embraced it. Had fun with it. I don't. That's a fine stopgap to WrestleMania match.
I wish that they could be I wish there could be just a bit of creativity with Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, considering they are two of the most charismatic wrestlers in WWE. Like, why are we doing the, this just reeks of like John Cena and Shawn Michaels. Remember they were tag team partners, and it's just such a lazy way to build a feud, in my opinion.
Well, you're forgetting about the amazing Reginald, who has been all over this.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did forget.
A rookie pulled from Cirque du Soleil and became the sommelier of Carmella, and now is the boyfriend of Nia Jax. Again, I only half pay attention to this. We got Big Apollo Cruz, who is now some sort of militant leader, Nigerian.
Yeah, I heard he dropped the English accent. He's just going, or is it the other way?
Yeah, he wasn't.
I think he has an accent now.
Oh, that's probably not a good idea.
I think it's fine. I saw him holding a spear, and that was a little, but it seems to be a nice thing for him. He's always struggled. And that's the show so far.
Great. Can't wait. Gonna watch it. And definitely not gonna miss 1 second of WWE Fastlane.
Mm-hmm. And in AEW news, we had crazy match. Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, bloodbath. I declare it better than the Moxley Omega match.
I say it was. Well, it's definitely
that under-delivered. This over-delivered.
If you count as a whole, like the whole spectacle coming out of it, yeah, it was better. But I think from bell to bell, I don't know if it was better. It was great though. That's not taking anything away from it. It was. Britt Baker is such a star. Thunder Rosa is such a great wrestler. Britt Baker dripping blood is just such a great image. I think that was the problem with the Moxley Omega match, is that, the big moment, the spectacle moment, that one shot that you'll remember is, 4 fireworks going off the ring post, this sad thing that happened. So yeah, on the whole, it was better. You're right, but it's
Bob, are you a regular AEW viewer?
Yeah, I do watch at least parts of it every week. I watched the main event from last night, which was good. After despite the bad ending, I still enjoyed the Moxley Omega match a little more than the Thunder Rosa match. But they're both good.
Yeah, the work in the
that's fair.
Moxley
This is
Omega.
my controversial opinion.
Yeah, no, the thing with Kenny and Moxley was like, it was like New Japan main event level wrestling, just like two of the best guys in the world, and then they just had their little dud. But
yeah, we saw the Pinnacle come together, which is MJF's new Four Horsemen style group. It came out of a private jet into a limo. It's all about the details. It's either going to be the Pinnacle is either going to be Four Horsemen or they're going to be Fortune. And
they're not gonna be Fortune. Come on.
I mean, it's all just about getting the details right. Also, Pentagon Junior or Penta El I don't know what he's called. I never
Penta
know.
El Zero Miedo.
I talked to his manager on TV once, and I didn't know what to call him. But Alex Abrahantes, who is the Spanish language commentator, is his manager. It's a weird fit. I don't know if you guys have seen this guy. He's just kind of like a dude in a members only jacket.
A dork. He's a dork. He's a bit of a dork.
Yeah.
Brett, you and I talked about this off the air. You know, number one guy they need to be contacting to bring in as Pentagon's manager is Dario Cueto. You know, like, I think Pentagon is a main event wrestler. Obviously, he's got more charisma than anyone on the roster outside of MJF, maybe, in my opinion. And, you know, it's good that he has a mouthpiece. I think, you know, that's a good idea. But the mouthpiece is just so nothing. I mean, it's not like WWE. It feels like a WWE manager. We're just going to take some guy backstage and put him with this guy, and he's going to recite the lines, and he doesn't really have any charisma. But AEW doesn't do that. AEW has real managers that have personalities. So I think you need to have that with Pentagon.
Yeah, I think, I mean, just mentioned her, Selena De La Renta would be fun.
Be great. Yeah.
Or Karina, who was, you know, in Lucha Underground too. She would be fun. Like, just somebody that's a little tough if they want to go that route, you know. Someone
Vega.
with an edge. Sure.
Yeah.
And then you know, speaking of incredible performers, Maki Itoh. Bob, have you been part of this Maki Itoh respect army?
Yeah. Bob, are you a simp?
Yeah. Or do you simp for Maki?
I wouldn't say that. No. Her entrance is good. I saw last week where they cut the music on her, which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is part 2 of things we talk about every week.
Every week, yeah.
We like I learned about her like just in the perfect amount of time. We had Emily Pratt on. She knew all about Maki, explained everything to us, and you know, we've gotten to watch the rise. She enjoyed her time in the US. I've got, you know, I didn't pull the clip, but I do have audio of her talking about what she misses most about America.
Wow,
Brett. No, it's
real. We're real.
It's the link, Mountain Dew, my Mountain Dew. My Mountain Dew.
So we have that in common. We both crave Mountain Dew all the time.
Yeah, she had a great. She's did an interview about her experience in America. Made friends with Lance Archer. Which is fine. And John Silver and Evil Uno. Those are her 3 friends. And she ate Uber Eats every day.
Mm-hmm.
So
just like me.
Just like Brett. Yeah.
Other news, we got some new inductees in the WWE Hall of Fame coming. Eazy-E, my favorite wrestler of all time.
Yeah,
Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, father figure to you.
Yeah. You know, he's a cool dad.
Yeah, he is. You know, he's got those bikes. He's going
to be joining Molly Holly, who is wrestling's like lone good human being.
There's
The
gonna
Bella
be
Twins,
the
Jushin
Bella
Thunder
Twins.
Liger,
Mhm.
British Bulldog, JBL, Batista, and the NWO are going in from last year. Any thoughts of this class or these classes?
No. Not really.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the Hall of Fame is kind of lame. They do too many inductees, and I don't know. Eric Bischoff is. I don't like Eric Bischoff. I don't even think he's that great of a performer. Like I know you do, Brett, but it's like he is like a swarmy asshole, but then he kind of just is that, and I don't know. I mean, hopefully, maybe Jason Hervey will induct him. That'll be funny, I guess, for somebody.
His little friend from the Wonder Years, who
Yeah,
we
his
met
little friend
as a 13-year-old and became lifelong best friends.
But I wonder who else is going to go in. Brett, do you have any predictions on who they're going to put in there?
Like what's the next step from Bella Twins? I guess Molly's the
Molly's in. So you got to get they're gonna definitely gonna induct a person of color.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what else.
D'Lo? No, he's an Impact. I don't know.
No, not D'Lo.
Road Dogg.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Road Dogg.
Not that he's a person of color, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I guess he went in last year too.
Yeah, Billy Gunn is in AEW, so
yeah, they're already in it. I don't know. It's a little too blown. When the Bella Twins are like first ballot entries.
Well, I think the Bella Twins should be first ballot entries. Honestly, I'm a Bella Twin supporter.
You're in the Bella Army, yes, we know.
I am in the Bella Army.
I think they have their place, but
absolutely.
These like younger entries like Beth Phoenix and stuff, it just feels a little too recent. Like if John Cena's not in there, like, why is Beth Phoenix beating him by like 10 years or whatever? Right, I don't know. Right. It's just a little strange.
Maybe they will put Cena in.
But also they had like
I think they want to make it seem like he's still active. Like he could come back at any time. So the Hall of Fame, although Goldberg, it's not the case, but
right.
It seems like if they don't put guys that are still they have a chance to come back in until they're kind of done.
I mean, Coco Beware was in before Bruno, so it's
Well, I just watched WrestleMania 6 while I was in a feverish delusion from my COVID vaccine. And, he had a great little opening match with Rick Martel. So, and Bruno, what'd he ever do? Huh? What'd he ever do besides give Vince McMahon grief?
Yeah. He was just in that one battle royal. That's the only thing he's ever done.
One battle royal. I'm just saying.
My clock starts at WrestleMania 1. But Bob, when does your wrestling clock start? What's your first entree into the world of pro wrestling? First memory.
The thing that got me into pro wrestling was seeing it was the angle where Eddie Gilbert had just come back from like a broken neck, and Masked Superstar gave him the swinging neck breaker on the floor.
Okay.
And so yeah, that was it. And then after that, the match that really got me into it was when Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas won the tag titles from the Samoans.
Wow.
And then after that, I pretty much was watching. It was before it's called Superstars. I forget what it was called. But
what was it? Was it
Championship Wrestling?
Yeah, it was something like that. Or yeah,
All American. I don't know, one of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny that the Masked Superstar and Eddie Gilbert captured your attention because they still haven't captured my attention.
Oh no, I love Masked Superstar. I think he's so underrated.
Same, absolutely. I mean, he's got a mask. He's a superstar, and also I love Eddie Gilbert. I know, Brett, you've never really got Eddie Gilbert either, but I think Eddie Gilbert was like 15 years ahead of his time. Such a great promo, obvious. Everybody says he was like a great mind for the business with his booking and stuff. But if you just watch like the angles he put together in the 80s, it's like Attitude Era stuff. It's really.
Well, here's one thing I like about Eddie Gilbert. It's that he hails every woman's dreams. And I was thinking about this. There's like a thread online, just like the best wrestling like pseudo hometowns. Do you have any favorites, Darren, Bob?
I mean, Parts Unknown is always the best to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It is kind of perfect.
It's not a fictional place, but it just comes into my mind. Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
I was going to say that one too.
Yeah, that's a great one. I'm sure there's others I'm forgetting. One of my first
I've got a little list.
memories. Oh, sorry, Brett. Let's take your list. We don't have to walk down memory lane at this point. Let's take your list. Come on.
We'll jump back into that. I just want to say some of these favorites. Tracy Smothers, when he was in the Full Blood Italians, was from Nashville, Italy. Deuce and Domino were from the other side of the tracks.
That's a good one.
It's not fake, but it always sounded cool that Raven was from the Bowery. Like that street. I don't know. Red Velvet, another personal favorite. She's from straight out of Yo Mama's Kitchen. Who was from who knows where.
That's a good one. That's good.
Nasty Boys, obviously from Nastyville.
Another place I really like. Yeah, Nastyville. Always wanted to visit.
Yeah, this one just hits me in the heart. Flash Morgan Webster is from a town called Malice. And one special one that the Dudleys got when Scott Steiner was a ring announcer for one night, he said, "Hailing from Dunkin' Donuts, obesity." There's my list. But yeah,
I also honorable mention Bad Street USA.
Bad Street USA, yeah. Bombay whatever, Bombay, Michigan. But I didn't want to cut off your childhood memories of.
Oh no, I was just saying with Eddie Gilbert. I started watching wrestling in 1991, exclusively WWF, and then I remember being at a friend's house, and it was after school, and we put on ESPN, and they used to have Global on.
Oh yeah.
This is the first non-WWE wrestling memory I have is of Eddie Gilbert throwing a fireball in someone's eyes and just being, and it was like so violent and visceral. And I think, I don't know, at being 6 years old and looking at that, I was just kind of horrified. But I always remembered Eddie Gilbert. And I actually I have fond memories of Global as well. They had Sean Waltman and Jerry Lynn used to have like really great matches there, and you'd see like the Patriot. I always thought the Patriot was cool. I was like, there's Hogan, there's Sting, and there's the Patriot.
Wasn't Bagwell like the handsome stranger or something like that?
I don't remember. I think he was. No, he definitely was, but I don't remember him. I have like. I didn't watch it wasn't a very good show. So I think like things would happen and then they wouldn't really mention it anymore because that person wouldn't get paid. So they wouldn't come back. But Eddie Gilbert was, I really like Eddie Gilbert. So.
Well, Bob, you know your stuff. But you haven't done what we did and surrendered to your shame and pivoted towards wrestling media. But yeah, who are like the secret? Because you're at these shows, you're at Coachella and stuff. Who are the secret like people that like I'm a comedian, so I'm at certain shows. I'll see certain comics and I'll be like, you see Raw. So like, who are those people in the world of music?
I mean, not secret, but a big one for me was meeting Bob Mould, because he used to write, for WCW or consult for WCW.
Right.
So anytime I see him, we just pretty much only just talk about wrestling. And my friend James Plotkin, who's been in a ton of legendary bands, like Con 8 and Old, he's pretty into current New Japan. And then Tom from the band Tobacco and Black Moth Super Rainbow. We'll talk about wrestling once in a while.
That's cool.
And Damien from Fucked Up is like the biggest one.
Oh yeah.
Was Tom from Tibet? Was he like an ECW kid? Because they're from Philly, right?
Yeah, he's from Pennsylvania somewhere. We mostly end up talking, at least the last couple times, would be about NXT. Like when Asuka was in NXT, we would talk about her a lot. And when they're doing the first Mae Young Classic. And yeah, I think we would mostly talk about women's wrestling.
On that topic, I was doing a little research to kind of see what you liked. And when you type in Bobb Bruno wrestling, first thing that comes up is an article where they like called you out for tweeting at Paige, or maybe that was your bandmate.
That was probably Bethany.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't have Twitter.
I see. That's I guess better because I thought like what a move, interviewer. So I see you've been tweeting at Paige, but okay.
I did get to meet Paige. This Best Coast was the in-house band on this short-lived Fox show, and Paige was a guest on there. So I was stoked to meet her, and she was like incredibly nice.
Oh, was this the Prince Savage show?
Yeah. What just happened?
I didn't know you were part of that.
Yeah, we're the house band on every episode.
Oh, cool. That was the like fake post show.
Yeah.
Well, that happened, right? Was the name of it?
What just happened?
Oh, what just happened? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, amazing. Is she cool?
She was super cool. I wore an all over print Terry Funk Foley deathmatch shirt, and she complimented me on my shirt.
She's so cool.
Yeah. And she broke a table on a gimmick table on the show, which is
sick. Sick.
Yeah, I've heard that. We did this a lot we did a public access show for a while. We'd throw Jeff Cannonball through a table a lot. Other people I'm talking to, like, it seems like anytime a wrestler gets asked to do a non-wrestling thing, somebody suggests they go through a table.
It's so fun. It's so easy. It's not hard to gimmick a table. I don't want to I don't want to break kayfabe, but it's really, just take a couple screws out and you got a gimmick table. And then I feel like wrestlers are always like, they're always happy to go through a table. They're like, oh, it's just a table. It doesn't hurt. So let's do it. But then, yeah, I don't know. Brett, you've never gone through a table, have you?
No. Although I've posed lying down in the shards of a table.
You have, yeah.
Yeah. Which, that it counts. Everybody thinks you went through that table.
That's right.
Well, we like to do a segment on this show every now and then. It's called Big Show and Tell. Darren, hit them with the
and tell.
Hell yeah. We're so proud of it.
Every time.
So, we reached out to you. You sent us some of your favorite clips. And these, I'd like to think I know my shit. Darren, the same. But these are truly like left field, left of the dial wrestling clips. So we're going to start out with this first one. I don't know a ton about The Flame, probably for the same reason why I'm not a big Masked Superstar fan. But can you set this clip up for us?
Yeah, I forget. I think The Flame was actually one of the assassins, and then he had the Flame gimmick for a little bit.
It looked like Assassin 1, let's say.
Tom Renesto? Is that an assassin, right? I don't know the other assassin.
Yeah, I forget which one it was, but yeah. So it's with the feud with Bob Armstrong, right? And
how old is Bob Armstrong? It's hard with these clips, like the Southern Bob Armstrong. Like it could be in the 70s, it could be Smoky Mountain, like 95.
This is like, I think this is 80s Bob Armstrong.
Okay.
So still not. His sons were already wrestling, I think.
He's an older guy. I never totally got the Bob Armstrong thing. I think it's like you know, he's that local.
Oh,
hero.
you know what? If you watch Smoky Mountain Wrestling, I think that's when I got it. Like he's so he's like Bruno. He's like a Bruno type where he's I guess it's like the local guy, but you know, he just
like Dick the Bruiser or one of those.
Not Dick the Bruiser, because I think Bruno's whole thing was he was like a regular guy, right? Kind of in some way, who just, you know, was really strong. And Bob Armstrong was kind of the same thing, where he was like he was a bodybuilder, I think, when he started. And but he just has like perfect wrestling timing. You know, he knows when to turn it up. He knows when to sell. I understand he might not be the flashiest.
Yeah. Well, I'll say the Flame really knows when to turn it up. This is
I have not seen any of these clips, so I'm really excited.
Yeah. So, man upstairs, Isaiah, our producer, thank you for being here. Can you play this first clip?
As you can see here, Bob Armstrong is a person that is constantly and continuously on my mind. Now, I want to explain to you, people, why I have such strong feelings and resentments towards Bob Armstrong.
So he's throwing knives and shooting a gun at a picture.
That is the trademark of the Flame, and he took it off of my head and tried to expose my face to all the fans and the viewing audience. I want you to watch this video film, and I want you to think, and I want your sniveling brats to think. When is he going to strike? How is he going to strike? I can do it like that. That's the easy way, Bob Armstrong.
I think you'll have to admit, Bob, that's one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. This man is literally deadly in his intentions.
Well, I think he slipped over the edge, Gordon, but I'll tell him one thing. We're going to have a Continental match right here on TV next week, and I'm ready right now. I'll see him on TV next week. Just put that title up. Either one of us is going to take it. We'll find out who's the baddest.
Wait, hold on. Bob,
what a rational reaction.
He shot you. He shot an image of you. You know, he burned you in effigy, and you're just like, well, next week we're going to have a match. And it's going to be
threaten your children. Threaten your grandchildren, maybe.
Hold on. Okay, so that was Flash?
The Flame.
The Flame. Okay, that was the Flame. Just wearing his assassin mask. No shirt. He's got his big old belly hanging out. Oh, I guess he does have a shirt in some of the clip, in some of the shots. He has a shirt. Other times he takes the shirt off, like when he's shooting a gun.
Yeah. I mean, if you've ever shot a gun at your rival, a picture of your rival nailed to a tree, you know, you do break a sweat. The best way I could describe him is like Shockmaster with a different mask on.
Yeah.
Just got that like husky body.
Yeah, he's a thick man, which I support. You know, I like my thick wrestlers, but I mean,
Bob, what draws you to this clip?
Mostly the firearms, which like
good.
You know, that's way before Brian Pillman, and
right.
This is just, you know, you can't get more hardcore in a feud than like, I may just shoot you or throw a knife at you. Like,
I love guns in wrestling, you know, because it doesn't happen nearly enough. I mean, of course, there's Brian Pillman. There's Brett, you're gonna have to remind me of his name. He recently passed from TNA. What was his name?
Puppet the Psycho Dwarf.
Puppet the Psycho Dwarf in TNA pulls a gun on Vince Russo, I think.
Jeff, it might be also Vince Russo, but I know Jeff Jarrett's one of them.
Yeah, so he pulls a gun, and it's like, you know, but this is like, I don't know. I also love 80s vignettes because
they're the best.
They're so great. There's a couple Mid-South ones I really like. There's one where I should have made this my big show and tell, but I had a fever and was ill. But there's one where Mr. Wrestling 2 is training Magnum TA, and it's just like Mr. Wrestling 2 like wrestling a potato sack, like just like I'm gonna get it, and he just like tackles it, and I don't know. I love those clips.
He's another one of those guys I kind of don't get.
Mr. Wrestling 2 is fantastic. He's another one. You know what? You give me a regular guy in a plain old mask. Maybe
you know his name is Johnny Walker. His name is Johnny Walker, but he goes by the name Mr. Wrestling 2.
Well, he's like a great. He reminds me of like an older Chris Jericho. Watching Mid-South, because he just kind of says and does weird things that get over, and he's been doing it forever, and he's probably a bad guy underneath all of it, but that's okay.
Well, we got another clip that you sent over. This is from the Far East via Puerto Rico. Now, what promotion is this? Because I know there's like two separate kind of.
I think it was for Carlos Colon's promotion.
Okay,
so was it
World Wrestling Council?
Yeah,
WWC.
WWC, yeah.
And we've talked about him. He was my favorite as a kid. Savio Vega. Just high flying, spitfire energy. He was just the Caribbean white meat baby face. But prior to all this, and I didn't know about this until much later, he was TNT. So let's take a look at his time as TNT. And Darren, if you could just describe what you see.
Okay, so we see we have a nice horizon. Oh, here's TNT. I think he's under a waterfall. He's got his face painted. He's in the water. He's doing he's submerging himself in the water. He's underwater now. He seems to be doing some martial arts / spiritual training. All right. Roundhouse kicks to a vase full of water. Cuts to another piece of water. This is pretty good cinematography here. All right, he's doing a nice side kick. All right, he's doing some training on a beach. Oh, now he's training with fire. There's fire on the beach. He's just kind of jumping through it. All right.
And he breaks some concrete blocks.
That's right. Wow.
I just like that transition from that kind of unexpectedly cool electro music to just clown music.
Who was that announcer? That announcer looks super familiar.
I think it's Hugo
Savinovich.
It is. Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't realize
the husband to Wendy Richter for a time.
Wow, didn't know that. I love.
He's
TNT.
the guy. I wish I spoke Spanish, because I'm sure he's got some real fun stuff. Because he wrestled for, he was a wrestler in the 70s and into the 80s.
Yeah, I think he went. Who was the guy in Puerto Rico that was like, everybody thought he was Vince, not a Gorilla Monsoon's son. I forget that guy.
Oh, Victor Quinones.
Yeah. I didn't realize Hugo was Puerto Rican too. That's cool. Boy, I love TNT. I love his face paint. It's like, it's in the 80s, so it's kind of the, the Dump Matsumoto, the Ultimate Warrior, but it just says TNT on his forehead, which, that's good. I want to know who my wrestlers are.
Yeah. So, Bob, can you fill us in on maybe some extra background on TNT? What else do you know about this guy?
I don't know a whole lot. I just love watching videos of him. But yeah, like I was saying, he's kind of like, the Great Muta for Savio Vega.
Yeah.
And once in a while, he brings it back. And I saw a clip where he was actually, I think, when he was feuding with Steve Austin, he didn't wear the makeup, but under a mask, he was called TNT, and they had a match.
I didn't know he wrestled.
Wow.
I mean, I know he was Quang.
Yeah.
Which obviously Quang and TNT have some similarities. But I didn't know he resurrected the TNT gimmick in WWE.
Yeah, it was for one match doing the thing where it's like, no, that's not Savio Vega. It's another guy, kind of like Mr.
I actually
America.
remember this very well. This was my like favorite thing as a kid. Because they were like, it was on Superstars, which is the only show I could see. They're like, we've got a brand new star coming in. He's the Caribbean Kid. And I saw him and I'm like, whoa, this guy is like Savio Vega, but cooler.
Oh, the Caribbean Kid. Oh, no, I'm looking at it now.
Oh, is that what it was?
Same build, same moveset. I was just like, wow, this guy rules. And then he unmasked to be Savio Vega. And I was a little disappointed.
Savio would be a good guy to put in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
I mean, he's back in the shuffle. He was at the Undertaker farewell.
Yeah,
thing.
that's right. I'm watching this
TNT
clips.
did. I mean, he's come back obviously in Puerto Rico, but he also had a brief comeback in Ring Ka King because he was one of the trainers there, and he decided to wrestle as TNT, which is cool.
This Caribbean Kid gimmick is silly. The mask is like. That mask is so weird. It's like it's the Puerto Rican version of the Patriots mask, but then there's like this weird like the eye slot is kind of strange. I don't know. It's weird to look at. And then Steve Austin is terrified of him. So he's just wearing shorts and a Caribbean shirt and a weird Puerto Rican mask. All right, great. Seems like a great.
Speaking of terrifying, we've been talking about doing a segment on the show called The Light Side of the Ring, and I thought this could be it, and then I realized there's nothing light about this.
Oh boy!
So, we're gonna now take some time and Bob, what's your experience? What's your thoughts on Leapin' Lanny Poffo, aka the Genius?
I remember. The first thing before he was in WWF, he was in like Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and someone posted a photo of him like doing like mid moonsault, and I thought that was the coolest looking thing. And so I was stoked when he got to WWF, and he was just Leapin' Lanny, pre-Genius, and kind of card guy. So I was a fan then, and then when he became the Genius and didn't wrestle so much, I was kind of over it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're skipping the Sir Lanny Poffo, a period of his career where he wore a store-bought night costume.
The poet laureate of the WWF is, I think,
Gorilla. Yeah, the Valiant Bard.
That's when he had the frisbees
we've talked about
with poetry, right? That he
I forgot he would write poems on his frisbees.
And Darren, do you have your memorabilia handy? We've talked about Lanny Poffo more on this show than John Cena, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Ric Flair combined. We are big fans.
If you're listening on the podcast, you can't see it, but I'm holding up my Lanny Poffo signed wrestling trunks that say the Genius. They were on his butt.
Mm-hmm. Not only on his butt. We started the episode off with him talking about his he always has a gross way of saying whatever he's trying to say, which you'll see. But he was talking about his large member and essentially admitting to autofellatio.
No, he doesn't admit to it. He proclaims it.
Yeah.
It's not something that he's just you don't need to coax it out of him.
Yeah. I in research for this, I found a lot of wrestlers talking about it, and none of them seemed like anything anyone would want to hear, including myself. But I did find a lot of clips of Lanny outside of the ring. So, this isn't quite light side of the ring, but it's sort of behind the scenes. So here's the first of these clips. This is a long video that I recommend from Concrete, where they just get a tour of Lanny's house, or his apartment, before he moved to Bermuda or something.
No,
we've had him check in on the show.
He lives on the beach in Ecuador.
Yeah, he's appeared on the show many times, but it's $50 a pop. So here is him in his Florida apartment.
Amazon, play the Beach Boys.
Shuffling songs by the Beach Boys.
I just accepted a booking in Germany, so I like to lay down and listen to YouTube German lessons.
Aber es gibt ein paar kleine Regeln und wenn man die kennt, dann
My theory is, why stand where you can sit, why sit when you can lay down?
vorab etwas Generelles.
It's my brainchild. Also, you'll find no toilet paper in my house. I don't use it.
Wow.
So, pause right there. Darren, you have such a way with words. Could you describe what the visual of Lanny laying on his bed looks like?
Okay, so he's flat on the bed like my grandfather's corpse. And he's laid flat and his face is kind of sunken in, also like my grandfather's corpse. And above his bed is a television screen, and he's just flat on his back looking at it. This is what he does with his life, I guess. And he's also where he's living. And he says that this is his apartment. It's a hotel room. This is obviously a hotel room. It looks like
I believe this is his apartment. I got the whole tour.
Well,
he does have it decorated like it's a temporary. I'm sure he didn't buy new furniture when he moved in. It seems like it was made.
Well, maybe. From what I know, he always buys high quality stuff. I remember listening to an interview with him once. He's like, I always buy high quality stuff. It'll last longer. I'm like, okay.
Well, let's hear him talk about some of the why he doesn't use toilet paper.
Oh, great.
I have a bidet. It saves money. And I'm cleaner than anybody I ever met. Do you wipe your dishes or do you wash them? This is my massage chair. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, thank you. Watch this. It's coming. Now. Oh.
Now, Bob.
Yes.
I'll ask you to paint the picture for those that aren't seeing the video. What does what does Lanny look like to you in your most Lanny poetic fashion?
He looks like he's at the dentist's office.
Mm-hmm.
About
it's that angle you don't see unless you're at the dentist.
Yeah,
because you are the dentist. Also, it's worth pointing out he has a shirt called "Man" that says "Man Country."
I mean, that's where he's from.
Well, let's keep watching. They followed him to see what he does at night. Let's check in.
I've auditioned for America's Got Talent twice already. Didn't make the show. Not ashamed of it because I feel it's the best show on the air. I feel it is the best show, and it gives the most opportunity to regular people to become extraordinary. I drove to Jacksonville, Florida, waited in line like everybody else, and I thought I did pretty good, but evidently not. And then I went to Orlando, and I thought I did well, evidently not. But here I am, third time's a charm, or even if it isn't, I'll come back again and again, and as long as I have a pulse, I will try. The winter is forbidden till December, and exits March the 2nd on the dot. By order, summer lingers through September in Camelot.
So yeah, he's at hotel karaoke. Seems
That's
like
where he
maybe
is,
an empty room. Maybe not. He's in full King Arthur. He's Sir Lanny Poffo here.
Well, I want to say he is downgraded from an armored suit to a tunic, a red tunic with some like it looks like he's wearing maybe a curtain underneath it.
It's like faux chainmail.
Oh God. I really do admire his drive, though. When Sir Lanny Poffo sees something, he goes for it.
Yeah. And as I was putting these clips together, I was like, I have one rule with making fun of people, and I'm like, is this punching down? And yes, it is very much punching down.
Yeah, that's right.
And
yeah.
I think he does. I think he does dress up for like charity, or that at least that's like his excuse, or something. I'm not, quite sure who wants him to do that. I'm guessing no one, because we found out he would like wrestle in like bunkhouse stampedes in his knight armor,
which is a great idea. Which is great. Honestly, if you're going into a bunkhouse stampede and you're like dressed for a fight, well, wear a suit of armor, right?
Yeah.
He lost those matches, so I guess it didn't really help him.
So yeah, I was kind of feeling bad, and then I found more Lanny clips, and now I'm back in the position of being like, I'm fine with making fun of Lanny Poffo, and here's just a smattering of hits from hours of research I've done in the darkest corners of YouTube. So let's take a look at the best of Lanny Poffo behind the scenes.
It turned out Raggedy Ann and Pinocchio were having an affair, but they're having a little problem. It's a sexual problem during coitus, during their sexual intercourse. Pinocchio was leaving splinters in Raggedy Ann in her nether regions. Was I faithful to my wife on the road? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I got as much pussy as I possibly could get, because I certainly wasn't getting any at home.
All right. So,
with no thought to my own life, I saved this beautiful girl so you could live, love, and be married.
Thank you very much, Lanny.
Merci beaucoup, mademoiselle. The beautiful, beautiful woman that I am so lucky. I am the same age as her grandfather. And she was lucky enough to put up with all my insane rantings and singing. Sharing the love I thought would last forever. Moonlight would show the way so we could follow. No. Wonderful girl.
Thank you.
Maybe it's best if we just leave that one alone.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be for the lighter side segment.
Yeah, this is supposed to be the lighter.
I thought it'd be nice to kind of like take a look at his life.
Yeah, the nice thing. It's
no,
like,
it's
Lanny Poffo likes to go have a canoe lesson, but we don't think he's gonna, assault women. Okay, this is not working. Yeah.
What are you gonna do? And he's like singing to this poor girl. She's like French Canadian.
He is a singer. That's right.
And then there's another one where it's like, do I regret having sex with other women, strangers, while I was married to my wife? Not one bit, because I needed that pussy. It's like, oh God.
Wow.
And I preferred the pussy of strangers.
Oh, what? Thanks, Lanny.
Yeah.
Great. Oh.
Well, sorry to end with a fizzle there, but
thanks for hurting our feelings, Brett.
But Bob, anything you're excited about coming up?
Just a New Japan Cup. I haven't been watching every show, but I think the finals will be good.
Who do you got? Who do you think's gonna win?
I'm really hoping Shingo wins. I think it's time.
Last I checked, it's down to Evil, Toriyano, Shingo Takagi, Kenta, Will Ospreay, Sonata, David Finlay Jr., and Jay White. It might have slipped down since
it's shrunken considerably since then. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's Evil, Shingo, Osprey, and Jay White, and
Wow.
and maybe one other person.
Shingo would be great. I'm pulling for Jay White. I think he's been one of my favorite performers ever since he came back.
Yeah,
over the
same. I was
summer.
a big hater when he first debuted, but I
Sure.
think he's so good now.
Oh my God, he's the best heel in wrestling. Like he's better than him as a heel. He's better than MJF. He's better than anybody at being a heel in a wrestling ring. But Shingo would be great too. Shingo's a guy that should be. I mean, they've got to elevate Shingo. So this is probably the place to do it. I love New Japan Cup. It's so underrated.
Yeah, and congrats to David Finlay, who's the Impact Tag Team Champion.
Oh, congratulations. Brett, what do you think of the team? Brett, what do you think of the team name Fin Juice?
I hate it. I admittedly hate most Juice Robinson related ephemera.
You're a hater. You're a hater. He was nice to us after that New Japan show. Remember, he said, "Hey, what's up, guys?"
That's right.
And then we watched. Oh my God, I'm forgetting his name. We watched Bad Luck Fale smoke cigars on the at the bar, the MSG bar. What a life we led, Brett.
Yeah, that's a fun night because we were like, you were like the New Japan guys. They party.
Yeah.
Maybe we could find their party, and like kind of texting one of the guys I knew and trying to get some info, but too shy to ask.
Yeah,
would love to have an old school. They could chop me or whatever. Like I'll buy them like dinner and they'll chop me. I think that's how it works.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
but instead, we just watched Bad Luck Fale smoke cigars on the patio of the MSG bar. So
yeah, at the Pensy, like the food court.
Yeah.
Well, Bob, thank you so much for coming on this show. You're a busy guy. You put out a new album last year.
Yeah.
You're and you got all this wrestling to watch. There's an hour. Takes away like 10 hours of your week.
It is a lot.
Yeah. We'll be back next week with more Maki Itoh news. Darren, you got the WFMU marathon. This is the final weekend.
Yes. This is the final weekend of the WFMU marathon, fundraising marathon. WFMU.org/pledge is the place to go to pledge. Any amount helps. No amount is too small. If you like Wrestling Club, if you like WFMU, consider supporting us with money. We need it. The station, it's alone per year. I think it's $160,000 a year for our transmitters. It's $100,000 a year for our servers. We had to hire more workers to keep the station going during COVID. All our DJs are remote. That's been thousands and thousands of dollars of equipment to keep it going. Most radio stations of our size have closed during COVID, but we're still going, and we need your help to keep doing it. So WFMU.org/pledge is the place to go. And to keep Freeform Radio free and broadcasting for another year. So if you can help us out, if you got a couple bucks, if you got your stimulus and you're like, I'm just going to go buy Bitcoin with it. Don't do that. Give it to WFMU. Give it to WFMU because that $1,400 you spent on Bitcoin today is going to be worth $0 at some point. But if you give it to if you give $1 to WFMU, we stretch it to $2. Okay. We're very frugal, to say the least. If you could see the yarn and glue we have keeping the station together, you'd see that we really make your dollar go far. So WFMU.org/pledge. Please help us stay on, and tell them you listen to Wrestling Club, and maybe this will be on the radio someday. You can listen to it on the radio as opposed to on YouTube. You know what I'm saying here. Yeah,
and on speaking of our YouTube, we got a music video for the Ahsoka by Susan, right? Is that her name?
Yeah, Ahsoka, written by her. Yeah,
both names of active wrestlers, so it's a little confusing. But we
Brett
edited
made
a fun video of Dump Matsumoto and Bull Nakano's first trip to New York. They're just eating ice cream and shopping at Trash and Vaudeville.
It's
and
unbelievable.
Taking horse rides in the park. It's great. So check that out. Bob, do you have any other plugs?
Nope.
Sick.
Yeah.
Hey.
I do not.
Well, someday.
I'll continue my streak. I've had the least productive year, aside from this podcast, which might as well not not count. Leaning into the darkest part of my personality, but I will say, because I always throw in a plug for something, visit stopasianhate.info. Go to any one of those things. Do what you can. Donate to funds. Just do your anti-racist work. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir, but in case it's not at the top of your mind,
if you're a dumbass, educate yourself.
Yeah,
yes.
I thought I was a smart guy last year. Black Lives Matter. And then I'm like, oh no, I don't know anything.
No,
so,
you're stupid. You're stupid. I've been telling you that for decades.
So I'm not going to preach. Bob is a better person to preach, but I'm not going to ask him to. You got to do the work yourself. Support your community. My friend Sarah David, who's a writer, posted a tweet, and I said, this speaks better than anything I could say. Don't let Stop Asian Hate become another liberal racism is bad hashtag. A lot of that work is about grassroots organizing to decriminalize sex work and protect undocumented people. We don't need pity or self-flagellation. We need you on the ground and helping us now. So sorry to give you 2 PSAs in a row, but
well said.
That's my plug. And also, subscribe to the Instagram or whatever. So,
thanks.
Yeah. Darren, will you take us out?
All right, for Brett and Bob.
Okay.
Well, I have to take a little break
Darren
there.
finally crashed.
No.
He's had a real rough week. He's been up all night. Darren, are you with us?
Brett, I'm with you. I was doing it and you interrupted me. That's fine. We'll figure it out. All right. For Brett and Bob, I'm Darren. Thanks for hanging out at Wrestling Club on WFMU. We'll be back next week with a whole new show. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.
the Wrestling Club with Darren and Brett. We've got a show that you'll never forget.